Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Death row killer executed by firing squad after sharing KFC with other inmates. Brad Sigmund, a 67-year-old death row inmate, marked a grim milestone as the first person to be executed by firing squad in 15 years, sharing his last meal, 3 buckets of KFC alongside mashed potatoes and green beans, with fellow prisoners. In 2002, Sigmund received the death sentence after confessing to the heinous double homicide of his ex-girlfriend's parents using a baseball bat, just a week after their daughter ended her relationship with him. A previous court session disclosed that a crack-influenced Sigmund had told a friend about his intent to get Becky Barber for leaving him the way she did, and planned on tie her parents up. Addressing the jury during his trial nearly 23 years ago, Sigmund admitted, "I am guilty." Despite his plea to the Supreme Court to postpone his death scheduled for Wednesday, it was rejected, and his execution proceeded as scheduled shortly after 6 p.m. EST, 11 p.m. GMT on Friday. Sigmund faced his end at Broad River Correctional Institution in Colombia, where shots were fired into the death chamber from 3 volunteers through an opening. He was pronounced dead at 6:08 p.m. 11:08 p.m. GMT, following the shots from rifles carried by the volunteer prison officials. Donning a black jumpsuit and hood over his head, Sigmund's attire was marked with a white target featuring a red bull's on his chest as he faced his terminal punishment, reports the Daily Star. Armed prison staff stood a mere 15 feet, 4.6 meters, from where he was seated in the state's death chamber, a distance equivalent to that between the backboard and the free throw line on a basketball court. Also visible in the confined space was the state's unused electric chair, while the gurney used for lethal injections had been moved aside. The volunteers fired simultaneously through gaps in a wall, unseen by the approximately dozen witnesses in a room separated from the chamber by bullet-resistant glass. When the shots rang out, the target was blown off Sigmund's chest. He seemed to take another breath or two with a red stain on his chest, and small amounts of tissue could be seen from the wound during those breaths. His arms briefly tensed when he was shot. A doctor emerged about a minute later and examined Sigmund for 90 seconds before pronouncing him dead. In 2021, Sigmund narrowly avoided death by Old Sparky, the electric chair. We use your sign-up to provide content in ways you've consented to and to improve our understanding of you. This may include adverts from us and third parties based on our understanding. You can unsubscribe at any time. Read our privacy policy. Under state law, death row inmates have the right to choose their method of execution. Gerald King, Sigmund's lawyer, revealed that his client chose the firing squad, fearing the electric chair would burn and cook him alive. King argued that choosing between the 2 methods was an impossible choice, both being equally barbaric. Sigmund requested a delay for his execution, seeking additional information from prison officials about the state's lethal injection drug and procedures. Mr. Sigmund will be executed in 9 days by a method that he chose out of necessity, fear of a torturous death, and without the information needed to assess his alternatives, wrote Sigmund's legal team at the time. They claim Sigmund was essentially coerced into opting for an execution by firing squad, a method some might call barbaric, due to his grave fears about the state's lethal injection techniques potentially causing him to suffer from a slow, painful death by pulmonary edema. Sigmund is only the 4th prisoner in the U.S. to have faced a firing squad since 1976, with all previous cases having taken place in Utah, the last being in 2010.